Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Yeah, Solana chart. The Solana chart continues to push a little bit higher in the short term. The price basically reached the next resistance, let's say range, resistance area, which I communicated yesterday around $174 on the smaller time frame. So we can take a look at that in this video. Just want to start by taking a look at the daily chart. We haven't done that for a few days. Quick reminder that I focus primarily on the yellow scenario, and here in the yellow scenario we are currently working on a fourth wave. Okay, so we're working on wave 4. I could definitely see that happen, but it's also possible, bear in mind, that within this yellow wave 4, and again, that's the primary count. The white count needs to be considered, which is more bearish, but is not preferred until we break support, which is here at $52, which is far away anyway. But at the moment, yeah, my view is still we are working on wave 4. We had an A wave low in this area. A B wave rally was what we were watching for. That B wave rally is happening. The question is, how high does the B wave go? I think it could still go a little bit higher. B waves can even overshoot. Yeah, please be aware of that. B waves can overshoot. There isn't really an invalidation point for a B wave. So what is my approach? It's quite simple. I've identified a possible B wave rally. I identify with you the micro patterns on the smaller time frame counts or charts, and then I simply roll up support as we go along. So if this B wave turns into something more bullish, everybody should be prepared, because I won't confirm a top in place there in any B wave until we really have broken support. That is normally the best way of doing it. Also, I could be wrong. I mean, it's possible wave 4 bottomed already. It would be let's say less likely. Would be less likely, given that we have really seen only an extremely shallow wave 4 then in that case. Yeah. But what is also possible is that this third is still extending. In all cases, let's say rolling up support will just keep us on the right side of the trend. Okay, that is where strategy and tactics comes in, because what do the wave counts essentially help us with? See, they don't how should I say, they won't eliminate uncertainty, but the wave counts help us to reduce that uncertainty so that we can actually trade the markets and make informed decisions. So it's all about reducing uncertainty. You're still dealing with uncertainty. Therefore, it's so important to have an uncertainty mindset when trading and making decisions. But how can we then deal with that uncertainty? Well, that's tactics and strategy. So again, I still see that as a B wave, but it can overshoot. Should take us into the $200 region. At some point then we're going to watch for a C wave down. But here as well, if the higher the B wave goes, the less probable it is that the C wave will enter the support region, because the C wave and the A wave tend to have the same length. Also bear in mind, a fourth wave can always be a triangle. So yeah, watching for higher prices on the shorter time frame. This is, this B wave rally that we currently see. I did mention to you that the yellow count is possible. We could have topped here in a B wave already in a questionable WXY pattern, but it would take in the first step, and here the support area comes into play. In the first step, it takes a break below $147 to really believe that. Until then, I remain focused on higher in the orange count, in which we wanted to see a reversal in this region between $147 and $167. Basically, the next setup worked out so far. We have seen a nice reaction. Okay. It could, however, and that's where now the micro count comes into play. Anybody who's just following the orange count here shouldn't really worry about that, because it might be we dip back into the support region. If that's happening, then it should happen before breaking above $183, our resistance. Well, if we break above 183, then we're likely already in wave C of $3 to $205 plus. Then we should still see another 4-5 pattern to maybe 220 or 230. That should be clear. In the very short term, yesterday I mentioned to you we might have struck a low here, and that we are on our way up in wave C of B. I've added a resistance area and mentioned there should be a confluence of resistance around 174. We had that previous swing high area. We had Fibonacci clusters as well around $174.50. So That's where we are stuck at the moment. The move up looks unfinished because a C wave should be a 5-wave move. I can only count 3 waves up. I can always top in a WXY structure, but that's not preferred until we break down. So at the moment, in the very short term, one more high would be likely and is expected actually in this C wave of B. But yeah, that's just sort of what it basically means. I can't confirm a top at this stage. So what would be a first signal of a top? And if that one more high happens, by the way, $178 to $183 would be next targets. Then the only really support I can offer is $168. So a break below 168, that's our initial signal support, the 50% retracement of the C wave. That would give us a signal that we're coming down in wave C of B, okay? This one. As long as we're holding above 168, I have no top signal at all. And actually, I would prefer at least one more high, and then we see where it takes us. But 178 would be next, and then 183. That's my update about Solana. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.